My name is Lern, and now into some new Sammy Hagar and Joe Satriani. This is Chickenfoot on the Rock of St. Louis, KSHE 95.
Well, I love it when we can turn the tables on someone else who's normally behind the microphone asking the questions.
But you mean seriously, turn the table.
Right, yeah.
Shift.
Lauren Elwell.
Yes.
Colvin.
What?
Learn.
What?
She's
From
one of those people.
from the morning show.
She's on the run, has a lot of...
Yes. Welcome. We
Thank
love
you. I love you too.
Yay.
I love Ron and Joy. Every time people
Yay.
bring up you guys, and I'm always like, you don't say anything bad about Ron and Joy. I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes,
I'm your
because
ally.
You're the only one.
No. You guys are very
John's
well loved.
pretty good.
Yes.
John always takes care of us.
So you do the morning show with John Hewlett over there.
I do, yes.
And you know what? People kind of look and tell me, you would think, oh, well, I was Joy in the morning. Now you're Learn in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're like the next generation of me, sort of.
Wow, this is...
What a compliment. No, that's my favorite.
It's true.
Hate to
and I
tell you
can't
this
think of
story.
a better person to do it.
Thank you.
This is just like 3 generations down now.
Oh, but stay out of this.
But we haven't had like a
I'm
woman.
going
Yeah, we
the
haven't
room.
had anybody to really be the next one to carry that torch properly.
You mean just in the morning, though?
Well,
Because...
Ron, really? Okay,
Ron, I'm
let's
trying to
talk about
absorb
something
this.
people want to talk about. This is what he tells me when he's like,
I hope Katie Cruz sees this and you get a call from her.
Well,
she didn't do the morning show.
No,
She
but
didn't, and Katie's a different breed.
Yeah, exactly.
And I always say, I love Katie. She's a good friend.
Yeah.
But I remember when I first saw a headshot of Joy Gridnick down in the KSHE basement when I first started in 2008, and you had this
Gridnick.
great haircut, and I'm like, who is this? And so I remember Tony Boozy Cruz. I brought it up. I go, who is this beautiful female DJ? Like, I have to know. And he goes, oh, that's Joy. She had Joy in the morning and all this. And I'm like, I have to know her. And I remember meeting you, and I was like starstruck because I don't know, I just had I hold you in such a light in my brain.
Well, okay, but thank you. That's because there's no real tape on me.
Yeah, but the headshot's in the basement, so that's where they keep your headshot.
But I have to tell you, what's really weird is that she's sort of from the same area that I'm sort of from.
Columbia, Illinois.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Yes.
That is strange.
So you're an Illinois girl from right across the Mississippi, and and so it's kind of the same roots, really.
So that's why, Ron.
Yeah.
Is this what happened when you added? Just what happened when you added Carl the intern back to the mix? It was a little awkward
just
at
nuts.
first.
It was like a 3-headed monster, and it is.
Yeah.
It's like this. So
how did you get the name Learn? How did that happen?
interesting subject matter, Ron.
let's go with it.
So whenever I was in high school at Columbia High School, I have a friend named Eric Weiss who, when you're in high school, you're doing dumb stuff, not really learning anything.
Yes.
And so
thus the learn and learning.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so Eric goes, hey, let's remove all the vowels from our names and see what we're left with. And so my name is Lauren. And so when you take all the vowels out, you're left with LRN. And so it started this kind of fun nickname of Learn. And then somebody threw an E in it again. And then I've been called Learn by all of my close friends since high school. And then my college professors at Illinois State called me Learn. And I remember whenever I started at KSHE, Favaz goes, well, what do people call you? And I said, they call me Learn. And he's like, all right,
you went
done.
with that. Wow.
So that's how it all started.
There it is.
You're just lucky they didn't assign you a name like Shotgun Learn.
That's right. Yes. I'm happy that was not a part of it.
Now, I told you this a couple of weeks ago. That when I listen to your morning show, it's one of the few guy-girl morning shows in St. Louis where you really, and I don't mean to spite anybody because there's great morning shows in St. Louis, but you really have an interesting relationship, and you really feel that relationship over the air with this old man, John Hewlett.
Yeah, what did you think about that? I mean, obviously, you probably felt you don't have a choice.
I thought, okay, so really, the story is really intricate because in 2008, when I started looking for jobs in St. Louis after graduating from college, John and I had a family friend who we didn't realize that his name's Brent Klages, and I was trying to get board hopping positions all over the city. Nobody would take me. So Brent said, hey, I know John Hewlett. Our daughters play soccer together. Do you want me to drop your name or get an email? And I said, yes, network me in. And so I emailed John the most professional email that has ever existed, ever. And it had my air checks and it had my resume attached to it. And I was like, Mr. Hewlett. I mean, it was just completely different than what we are now. And John forwarded it on to our promotions department. And then I kind of got a job that way. Like I went in through the promotions door.
So you worked there a couple of years before you ended up on the morning.
2008. So 4 years before.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you know that happened to me? I started doing concerts. I was like the concert artist,
girl.
poster person. Yeah.
I made concert posters for the old Rock House,
OMG.
Joy. We are the same.
I'm going to go get a coffee. I'll come back when you guys are done.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you this, though. So in 2012, when Rick Bayless said, hey, because I've been driving him nuts, wanting my break, I said, I want to be on the radio full time, and I had a voice tracked Sunday show, which was whatever. And he said, okay, I'm going to throw you on with John. We're going to get rid of Bob and Tom. 2012, it's going to be you and John in the mornings. And I went home to my now husband's house, and I started crying because I knew John a little bit, but I wasn't as close to him as I was with Katie and with Mike Duran and with Favaz. And so I thought that they were setting me up to fail, to be honest with you, because John is so sporty and I'm not. And so very different.
No way would they do that, though.
Well,
you know that.
And this was me in all of my, being conscientious.
Of course.
And so John and I remember the first couple of weeks of our show, it was just really timid, but I was like, okay, you have to give it your all, and don't be intimidated by him. Just understand him in a way. And so we just started this flow. And I remember the first time I made John laugh, that's when I felt 100% comfortable. Because when you get John to laugh, he just has a great laugh. And when he, when he's got daughters, so I think he has a soft spot in his heart for women anyway.
Yeah.
And so with all of that, we have the same chemistry, like humor wise and
great.
Everything.
But I've thought about this for a long time, Lern, why this works. Mm-hmm. And as you know, KSHE is primarily male listeners, but not totally, but it's predominantly male. And I think you are what every guy would want. A friend to spend 3 or 4 hours in the morning with playing music and goofing around and having you dance to the classics.
Yes.
Which is
fun.
Kind of a kinky idea. Was that John's idea?
That was John's idea, yeah.
But you know what? She does all the work. I saw you.
Oh, yeah. She's in control
John's just
now.
like talking, and you're back there actually making the show run.
And John loves that. He's fine with that.
Oh, yeah. He likes it when, because I'm a type A control freak, and I have to have everything just so. And John's really good with me about that. And so whenever, for his 40th broadcast, I mean, yes, we had so much personality on the air that day, and I knew just to kind of step back and let him really have all the glory, but at the same time I knew we had a clock to run and we had things to do.
Yes.
And so that's where my strong point is to keep us on point. And now that Carl is on the show, Carl is even more crazy like that. So Carl is the one really keeping us focused, and I'm actually allowed to have more fun now, which is really exciting. And
that's good. Yeah. And Carl brings in stuff like Vinny Testosterone, which is like, yo, man, that is so out there. What a great character.
I know. And everybody really, you either love Vinny or you hate him, but he is a lovable Italian jerkwad.
So you guys, you brought back the casting couch?
We did. We just brought it back this week.
Are you starting to build up elements again, or what?
Yes. So mainly what we're doing with the new, KSHE Morning Rock Show 2.0 now is we're having more leniency to just we're talking more, we're getting more involved into like stories and being able to really bring out the personality more. And I'm hoping that the ratings will keep up with that and people will want to hear more from us. But we're still playing a lot of music too. So it's not like the whole show's becoming a talk show. It's definitely more mostly music focused. But yeah, so Carl's bringing a great personality to us. And John and Carl have known each other for a really long time. Carl and I have known each other for going on 8 years now, so it's a nice blend of the generations. And
well, when you go out in the world, who comes up to you and tells you they love you? What age group?
It's men, and actually it's men and women. I have a lot of female listeners that I love so much.
Is Tim ever with you when this happens?
Oh yeah,
your husband.
Yeah.
And what does he say about that?
He's so cool with it. Tim works in the industry too, so he gets it, and that's probably the only way that I would have been able to marry someone is if they understand what I do, because it really takes somebody who understands themselves and has a lot of confidence in themselves to realize, okay, this is part of her job,
Where did you meet him?
Out at MS.
Okay, he was an MS employee?
Yeah, he works for KFTK still. He's the promotions manager. Mm-hmm.
Ah, so you were in promotions.
Yes.
Oh.
See how that works?
Oh, we got it all now. So.
Very much like you and Ron met in radio.
Exactly, except he tried to keep me from getting the job.
I don't know if this is still true, but I was told at one by somebody that you're a pescatarian.
Pescatarian.
Pescatarian?
Pes-
Is that-
Pescatarian.
Which is,
Eating.
you're into fish,
Yes.
I am.
but not meat.
Right.
Are you still?
Yeah.
Is that still the case?
It is still the case. I predominantly have like a Mediterranean pescatarian
I
diet.
am
Oh, the
exactly
Mediterranean
like
stuff
that.
in this diet.
Really?
Yes. Now I'm not officially like that. It's just that's the way I eat.
Yeah.
She's
And
whatever
that's
you
how
want.
I am too. Like if people ask, okay, well, what do you eat? Mostly it's mainly like salmon and tilapia and just different fish. And then because I don't really like to eat meat, it just weighs me down.
It also grosses me out. I just think
Yeah.
of dead flesh.
I'm just going to
too.
throw. I'm going to
too,
lob
Joy.
little things in here. You guys just run with it.
Yeah, I don't know why fish are dead too, but they're not so dead.
yeah, they're not as
so
grossing.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a blood
I
thing.
see a new show happening here somewhere, but
Pescatarians.
I wish we had more time. We're going to have you come back to get more of this because we're not getting enough stuff here. But
Oh, I thought I was giving it my all.
talking fast enough.
Damn it.
But thank you.
Thank you.
for coming in.
Yeah. Happy to be
thanks
here.
for coming in. It's great.
Learn is on 6 a.m. to 10 with John, right? And then 10 to 1
That's right.
on yourself, on KSHE, on yourself.
Yeah.
I'm on
You're
myself.
all by yourself. You're on right now.
I am. Shh, don't tell anyone.
All right. And thanks to Clayton's Bakery. They made our segment possible through their generosity. Clayton's Bakery and Pastries in De Pere, offering fresh-made baked goods using recipes from St. Louis's earliest history and fresh baked bread right from the bakery. 11,744 Manchester Road in De Pere.